Hello, I have some great information for you about why you as a leader should spend more time coaching and mentoring your staff. If you have been leading a team for any period of time, then you've discovered that you are only as effective, productive, and successful as those who make up your team. The reality is that although each member of your staff possesses knowledge, gifts, and experiences before coming to the team, it is your responsibility as the leader to facilitate continuous professional and personal development opportunities. Your genuine investment in your team's development will inspire and motivate them to make the vision and plan you have come to pass in amazing ways. Leaders who are authentic Christ followers will work intentionally and strategically to create an emotionally healthy culture and build a solid team. This task is of utmost importance for Christian leaders because our culture and teams should be radically different than those of the world. From this radically different place, spiritual leaders can effectively move their teams along in God's perfect agenda and plan for them. When your team is moving swiftly in one accord with God's purpose for them individually, collectively, and organizationally, the results are tremendous. Leadership, apart from moral and ethical issues, is the ability to attract and maintain followers. Writers such as Maxwell, George, and Blackaby all emphasize that leadership is built on influence that results in obtaining followers. While developing a following is key to leadership, being able to keep them is another factor. Great leaders can retain great people because, as we've already discussed in previous lessons, he or she works diligently to empower and develop their team. Leadership is without a question a people business. It's beyond managing budgets and executing goals and meeting standards. It is fundamentally about the people who we serve on our team. And as the leader, they are the people that God has called us to impact. There are two amazing practices that leaders, managers, and supervisors and those who work with teams can use to develop their team, and that's coaching and mentoring. Coaching and mentoring are effective tools for developing talent and helping to retain new and younger employees. The Harvard Business Review conducted a research project with managers who coach and mentor their staff compared to those who do not. What they found was that the desire to coach and mentor was a mindset that believed in the value of supporting their team members. These encounters should happen on a regular and consistent basis. It's a good rule of thumb expressed by key leaders that you should have weekly check-ins with your team, at least your direct reports. This weekly check-in serves several purposes. One of the purposes of the weekly check-in is that they provide a regular time with team members to assess their commitment and feeling about their role in the organization. This is not done to gather information that can be used against them in any way, but rather as an opportunity to address valid concerns that are raised in the meeting. Leaders who are intentional and fair in hearing and addressing the concerns of their team will have a greater success rate at retaining high functioning and high potential employees. Research shows that one of the top reasons people leave a job is because of their supervisor or boss. You can prevent some of that by doing simple check-ins. Another reason for this weekly check-in is to stay in the know about what each person on your team is working on. You may have staff meetings weekly with the team, but speaking to each of them individually allows you to reiterate things that applies to them specifically. It also helps both parties set realistic goals, discuss successes and failures in a positive environment, and assess the appropriate conditions for the team members to produce at an effective rate. The third purpose is that this meeting gives you a weekly opportunity to develop each person individually. It's easy to ask people what they're working on, but consider these additional questions. What can I do to assist you in being more successful in your assignment? This one-on-one allows you to celebrate your team members' success, completion of a project, discuss areas of growth in their performance, share an article or a podcast that will strengthen them, or suggest a seminar or conference for them to attend. Now, allow me to be clear about something. A leader's investment into talent development is not purely altruistic. Leaders and managers know that coaching their team will allow them to achieve their business goals. When leaders get intricately involved with their employees through professional development opportunities and regular engagement, productivity and achieved goals become the norm. In line with meeting business goals is another factor that managers must consider, and that is performance reviews. Although there has been some buzz around getting rid of formal performance reviews in the workplace, the majority of industries and organizations are still using traditional means for sharing performance-related information. One of the ways that leaders can engage in performance reviews, apart from the stigmas and challenges surrounding it, is by having regular coaching and mentoring encounters with staff members. The Harvard Business Review calls it boosting dialogue. In fact, the research shows that boosting dialogue is one of the top elements that companies consider to be important in terms of staff development and performance reviews. This emphasis deals with increasing the quality and frequency of the feedback managers are providing his or her employees. Boosting dialogue is not difficult for coaches and mentoring leaders because he or she tends to ask a lot of questions in general. They do this because they are sincerely interested in discovering more about their staff, what their professional goals are, what is happening in their life, what kind of obstacles they are facing in accomplishing tasks, amongst other things. When coaching and mentoring leaders engage in regular encounters, he or she establishes connections that translate into high productivity, retention, and synergy. As one coaching manager said, this is why someone who listens to me, because they believe that for that time I really am trying to put myself into their shoes. Empathy, another leading quality for exceptional leaders, allows leaders to gain a deeper understanding of what each staff member needs and appropriately adjust their style to accommodate. There was a study of top-level leadership traits among high-level executives, and the most common one was affection. These leaders cared for their people, and in turn, their people worked diligently for them. Some leaders may feel that this is unprofessional or unwise to care and connect personally with their team, but the most effective leaders would say opposite. Learning about your team beyond what they do at work helps to build your empathy towards them. It reminds you of how you got to where you are in life. You remember that you were once a follower of a leader before you became a leader. Therefore, when one of your team members needs help or is struggling with an assignment, you're able to pull from your experience and be compassionate rather than criticize or judging them for it. This has been your C to D moment. I'm Dr. David D. Jackson, and remember that the School for Leadership Development is committed to shaping leaders to transform their worlds. God bless you.